it's Nathar at CrowSong Lodge, and I am doing this a bit later than I intended to because I'm not good at being awake when I'm supposed to. Tale as old as time at this point. So I am recording my second video in my tarot spread series, and so this is a series. If you missed the first one, I'll link it up there probably. Where we are going to be looking at a bunch of tarot spreads that I've just kind of randomly found on Pinterest, because Pinterest is my happy place right now, that people have put out on the internet, and we're just going to try them out, and the idea is to kind of look at what we like and what we don't like, and the pros and cons of each spread in order to figure out how we want to create our own. So you could just like start making up your own, and that's fine, but a lot of people, if they have Virgo tendencies like I do, like to kind of go into this as a strategic analysis kind of thing, and so that's what we're doing. So today we are going to be looking at the Fire and Fields Beltane tarot spread, which has a really fucking cool name, and you know, May 1st was Beltane, so why not? By wortsandcunning.com, which is also a fucking cool website name, so that's awesome. I don't know wortsandcunning.com, but I'll probably be checking them out after I do this video. So it's a pretty good advertisement for them, so it's a neat strategy for putting a advertisement out and getting their spread out there. So the intro to the spread says, and you know me, I'm going to post it up there so you guys can play along. It says, at Beltane we have an opportunity to connect with our growing fires of desire, direction, and determination, as well as glimpse our slumbering selves dwelling deep below. The Fire and Field spread explores the energy of the season, focusing on the central fire of our soul's desire. Sounds pretty cool. So this spread has 8 cards involved, and so I'm going to spin the camera around so you guys can check it out as we go. So hang on. Alright, now you guys are facing my table. My hand's down here. I have no jewelry on, guys. Sorry. And I'm wearing my elbow brace today because I had a sudden cramp in my hand. Today I have my Shadowscapes tarot deck. That's this one over here. And my little mini Rider-Waite over here because I plan to be using him later. Whoops. And I just knocked a card down. We'll pick him up later, I guess. So we're going to get into this spread, and it's 4 cards tall, so I don't need to move my keyboard. Apologize the mess as always. I've got my little crochet over here. Sorry about that. My mouse will probably get out of the way. So I'm going to start by shuffling up. Again, the purpose of the spread is to find out what my soul's desire is and how to support it. So that's what I'm going to focus on while I'm shuffling. I'm just thinking about myself. My soul's desire and how to support it. What do I want and how am I going to get it? That sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like an exciting kind of spread to do. You guys already know I kind of have a thing about spreads that use too many cards, so I'm already kind of pushing back because this one has 8 cards involved. But hey, we'll go with it and see how it goes. So, shuffling up. I do really love a good shuffle. And as you guys can tell, I'm not all that gentle with my cards. This is some loud shuffling today. So there we go. I feel good about this. So, as I discussed in my last video, I always lay all the cards out face down when I'm doing a spread, and then turn them over as I interpret them. That way, I'm not altering the outcome of the spread as I'm reading the cards, because that's a thing that I feel is a thing that happens. You might have a different philosophy, and that's totally cool. There's no wrong or right, but if you're wondering why I'm doing that, that's the reason. So the first card, we're going to go, this is the Slumbering Self. The second card is the Seedling. And I'm overlapping because this is a tall spread. The third card is going to go way over there, and it's the Wood. Oh, I need to put it down a little bit there. The fourth card and the fifth card are the Sparks. Let's see. This one goes here, that's number 4. This one over here is number 5, if I remember my map right. Yes. Cards 6 and 7 are the embers. 6 goes up here. I'm already a little bit irritated by the lack of symmetry. So 6 and 7 are my embers, and number 8 is the year and a day vow. Now my cards are going to tell me what vow I want to make. That's kind of interesting. Anyway, I have opinions already, guys. Sorry. I keep kicking my tripod. Sorry about that, too. Sorry's all around. Alright, so we're going to start with card number 1. Kane is down here if you wonder why I keep reaching that way. I don't think you can actually see me, though. Ooh, there's my hands. Alright. So number 1 is the slumbering self, and this is the unconscious murmuring that guides our bright year adventures. What part of me remains dreaming from Samhain and the dark part of the year. So this is the Page of Swords. So the pages, the way I interpret it, this is the loudmouth here. Okay, so this is the part of me that says what she thinks. Without thinking it through. The words that just kind of come out my mouth without considering whether or not they're really necessary to come out my mouth, or just my opinion and what I want to express. So that's the part of me that's sleeping. So this is the part that I'm holding back. Number 2 is the seedling. This is being nurtured since the spring equinox. The seedlings have grown into young plants. What has been growing in my life and is now ready for the maturity of summer. So for that we have the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is about knowing where I want to go emotionally, what my hopes and dreams are, being able to see that destination, but not being entirely sure of how exactly to get there step by step. It's kind of like step 1, open the door, step 2, question mark, step 3, eat the pie. Like, we don't know what happens in step 2, but we see a pie and we know we're going to be eating it. So that's the 7 of Cups and how I interpret that card. So the seedling is knowing where I want to go without the part where I know how to get there. So my goal is what I've been maturing, I suppose. The wood. And the wood is, oop, I forgot where the wood was. It's a very long infographic here. Okay, it's up here in the corner. Okay, the wood is that which supports my fire, my ambitions, drive, work, relationships, and service to the world. Okay, so the fire is my ambitions, the drive. Okay, so this is what supports all that stuff. And that's the Magician. So, heck yeah, that's the Magician is a major arcana card, and that represents the fact that I have everything I need to make anything I want happen. I am all that I need, so all I need to do is put it into effect. So heck yeah. Number 4 and 5 are the sparks. These reflect how my work is perceived against the night and multitudes of work in the universe. My particular role in the community, family, romantic relationships, workplace, circle, and more, and also the way I spark fires in others, especially romantically. So these 2 cards are going to cover a whole lot. It's how I'm perceived in the world around me. So we have 4 and 5 for that. So I'm going to turn them both over at the same time because that's how I roll. And for that, I have the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Swords, which is pretty cool because that tells me that according to this spread, my community sees me as the person who encourages people to dream and really helps them define what it is that they want in life. And I'm the Ace of Swords. I kick their butts into action. I just kick them off the cliff and tell them to get started. They don't need to know where the road goes. They just need to start moving in the right direction. So that works for me. I like to be a goad. My 5th grade teacher name was Mrs. Goad, and I always thought that was funny. We all did, all of us. So 6 and 7, we have the fire that we carry with us through the rest of the year until next Beltane. What should I seek to carry and preserve, and what path of desire am I to follow? So that sounds like my motivation, the strength that's really going to carry me through, and what I can really depend on. So we have 6 and 7. See, and this lack of symmetry kind of irritates me, but whatever. So it's a 9 of Pentacles, And the Ten of Pentacles, I'll take those. So the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles are all about having all the resources that you need. Pentacles usually relate to resources. Those are physical resources, time, energy, and money primarily, or physical materials, wood, glue, tools, those kinds of things. Your physical resources. So, and the 9 and the 10 together here in this roll kind of tells me that I have all the physical resources that I need. Specifically, this tells me I'm going to have all the money that I need to get me through the next year, which is pretty cool because it's kind of been a worry. So that's kind of nice. I obviously didn't need 2 cards for that, but alright, cool. That sounds good to me. And then number 8, our last card here, way at the top, is the year and a day vow. What is the vow I'm making this Beltane to keep for a year and a day? What can you be brave enough to change for that period that will best strengthen you and your hopes, dreams, and goals? So I guess this vow isn't something that I'm choosing to make. I guess it's the kind of thing the gods want to thrust upon me, or at least my tarot cards do. They're my cards. They don't have a will of their own. It's okay. But I kind of, you can tell I'm already kind of rebelling against the idea that, like, surprise, I get to find out what this vow is. I'm going to take it under advisement, though. I'm not going to consider this binding because that's how I am. And for that, we have the 5 of Wands. I promise to battle uphill against all the foes you throw at me. That's not a delightful card. Yes, it is an uphill battle. That is, I vow for a year and a day to battle uphill against all the rocks being thrown in my face. That is a shitty ass vow, and I'm going to pass on this one. But thank you, Spread, for the offer. The rest of it was kind of nice. I like all this enabling and hope and inspiration stuff, but that 5 of Wands was kind of a shitty outcome. I was hoping for something a little bit more. It was going in a very epic direction, so that was kind of a bummer. So that's how my spread turned out. You can have like one last view. It's kind of a very tall spread, so I don't have room on the table, but this is sort of what it's supposed to look like. You guys have seen the infographic. I'll throw it up one more time. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around here, and then you can see my face. Okay, so I'm back. This is my face. Clearly, unless it's somebody else's, which is getting into some like John Travolta shit. So yeah, that was kind of a fun and amusing spread, I guess. It was kind of a fun holiday spread. It really gave me like a year forecast, which I felt was a bit excessive for a quarterly holiday, but that's really just a matter of opinion for me. I didn't like the symmetry thing. Really bugs me a lot on this one, and I kind of felt that could have gone a little bit better if the wood had been in the center instead. And then the 4 and 5 could have been to the left and right, and then the 6 and 7 could be left and right, and the 8 could be back in the center. That would have made me a lot happier, but that's really just a minor critique there. And then the whole, like, deciding to give me a vow in one single tarot card was a little bit bossy boots, if you ask me. And if you're watching my video, you did. So that's my opinion on that spread. For using 8 cards, it wasn't really that bad. It wasn't really that excessive, really. So, yeah, I'm not going to, like, bang on it too bad for that, especially since it was holiday-based. That's where you really want one of those more excessively long spreads. But there definitely was some room to kind of work on this one a little bit. I would really like to see... maybe, because we had like the sparks in 4 and 5, which is, we had the slumbering self, the seedling, and the wood. And we had the seedling thing, and then the sparks and the embers, but we don't have like a harvest happening, and then we went into like, the theme felt a little off, and I kind of felt like I would like a nice resolution that wasn't a year and a day vow, so there could definitely be some better craftsmanship here. It didn't feel very complete to me, but it was amusing for what it was. This isn't one that I would stick in my, I don't know, my Book of Shadows or whatever, your tarot journal or whatever. I mean, it's in my Pinterest board, so I guess it's kind of close, but It's not one I would repeat with, honestly. But so that's how my feelings are about it. If you give it a shot, of course, you know, put it in the comments down below, and I will, of course, include a link to Worts and Cunning in the description. And if I didn't do that for the first one, for the last video I did, I'll go back and do that. So off I go. Bye, guys.